Welcome. I'm excited to hear all the buzz in the room, and I'm really looking forward to our celebration today. My name is Alice Hovoroka, and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Environmental Studies here at York University. And happy anniversary. I would like to begin by acknowledging our presence on the traditional territories of many indigenous nations. The area known as Tkaronto has been caretaken by the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Huron-Wendat, and the Métis. It is currently home to many indigenous peoples. I would like to recognize the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and this area is subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which is a peaceful agreement to share and care for the Great Lakes region. I would also like to wish well all those individuals and families marking Passover, as well as other notable days of reflection and celebration that take place at this time of year among our diverse communities. And of course, I also want to mark Earth Day and Earth Week, which really helps us acknowledge the work we have done on behalf of and for nature, and also marks what we still have yet to do. This is a really exciting day. I'm really excited to welcome all of you as VIPs. I have in my notes, welcome VIPs, but frankly, all of you are VIPs. All of the students, all the staff, all the faculty, all the donors, the alumni, community partners, research collaborators, my university administrative and academic colleagues, and of course, past FES deans, who I'm so pleased to have in the crowd. So happy 50th anniversary to the Faculty of Environmental Studies. We have an entire day and evening of celebration, and our goal is to acknowledge, to honor, and of course to celebrate FES's imprint on generations of teachers, researchers, scientists, scholars, communities, policymakers, and change makers. And I think it's really important to acknowledge this imprint. It's not a legacy, it's an imprint of what we've done to build out environmental knowledge and to build out environmental engagement and practices locally, provincially, nationally, and globally. And it's a real tribute that we have so many of you in the room today that have brought all this wealth of knowledge and practice together. I am very excited to introduce you to our President and Vice Chancellor of York University, Rhonda Lenton, who's going to offer some of her own reflections on the Faculty of Environmental Studies at York University. So please join me in welcoming President Lenton.
Thank you, Alice. So good afternoon, bienvenue à tous, bonjour. You know, I'm really impressed by the folks in the room today and the fact that 50 years in, that people are so connected, from the alumni to previous deans, students and colleagues, to come together to celebrate today. And many of you will know that just a few weeks ago, we announced the 60th anniversary of York University. So it's sort of nice that we've got this alignment between the Faculty of Environmental Studies and York University, and we're sharing these milestones together. I think by now that some of you have heard me talk about the vision that we have for the university. And it's sort of reflected in going all the way back to our mission statement, but also the white paper and our university academic plans. That we're a university that cares very much about not leaving students behind. We have that commitment to ensuring that a very broad demographic of students has access to a high quality, research intensive university committed to the public good. And when we talk about the public good, we always talk about the social, economic, cultural, and environmental and other well-being of the communities that we serve. And in fact, in some of my earlier comments on that, folks from the Faculty of Environmental Studies were on top of and very keen to make sure that we were really thinking about how we make those contributions, and defining sustainability and building resilient communities in a very comprehensive way. And just recently, Times Higher Education, and I know that we don't all necessarily get wrapped up, and we certainly don't drive towards rankings, but I think it's important to note that Times Higher Ed decided that it was really important as part of Canada's and more broadly the UN's commitment to thinking about sustainable development goals, has come up with a new ranking of the impact that universities are having in terms of how they have embedded those sustainable development goals and what they do and the impact that they're having around the world in a number of different areas. And the Canadian universities generally did quite well. York ranked 5th in those sustainable, in that impact ranking. And we ranked 26th in the world of all of the universities that had submitted their documentation. And I'm particularly impressed with one of the rankings because it deals specifically with climate change action. And York ranked 14th in terms of the impact that we're having around climate change action. This faculty, we all know, was the very first faculty of its kind in Canada to really focus on environmental studies and to provide the leadership for the entire sector in Ontario and beyond. And I know that you're now in a major set of planning around how you can continue to ensure that you retain that leadership as you go forward. But I just want to finish off my remarks by saying that I obviously spent a lot of time at a lot of different tables talking about the future of higher education, the kind of innovation that is needed in higher education in order to ensure that we are serving and supporting and graduating the students, the leaders of tomorrow, that we're partnering to take on some of the big challenges facing the world. And people talk consistently about the importance of interdisciplinarity in terms of dealing with complex problems. They talk about the imperative of universities to work across sectors to reach out, to expand and to act as the glue for community engagement and how we're engaging other communities, both private and also not-for-profit and all levels of government. They talk about the importance of balancing and thinking about how social innovation links with technological and science innovation. And when I think about the Faculty of Environmental Studies, in many respects, on all of those dimensions, you have always been leaders. You've always, and you have led at York, and you've led more broadly in all of those areas. And I sometimes think that the rest of the Ontario education sector, when they're talking about starting some of those activities, I'm often led to say, well, actually, York has been doing those, leading those kinds of initiatives, for the last 50, 60 years. So I do want to just congratulate all of you for reaching this milestone. The rest of the university has a lot to learn from this faculty. I know you're all very passionately committed to what you do and to York University and to the commitment of our values around being progressive, excellence, inclusive, diverse, committed to social justice and sustainable. So thank you very much for your leadership. And I obviously won't be able to stay for the whole event today, but I really wish you the best over the next day or day and a half. Day, okay. So congratulations to all of you. Miigwech.
Thank you, President Lenton. You're going to be hearing a lot about leading the way, innovation, and excellence today. I want to start us off by offering a video that is going to serve as a springboard for us starting to celebrate who we are as the Faculty of Environmental Studies. And we'll be continuing this throughout a number of speakers and panels moving through as we also eat lunch. So let's watch the video first, and then I'll come back. You're going to see a lot of me, so I hope you're excited about that, but I want to introduce you to our video, so please enjoy.
So FES is my family. As an international student, leaving the beautiful island of Barbados, I was nervous and afraid.
We actually recognize our undergraduate and our graduate students when they walk down the halls, and we're interested to know how they're experiencing their education and their studies within our faculty.
I was also drawn to the fact that this is a small program which allows me to have more close-knit connection with the staff and the course material.
FES is about so many different things to me. It's about a community where I was nurtured, where I made some of my very best friends, and I learned from professors who have become my mentors over a lifetime.
For 50 years, the Faculty of Environmental Studies at York University has been at the forefront of environmental education, research, and engagement.
One of the most striking things about the Faculty of Environmental Studies at York University is the range of opportunities that it provides students.
And there's a lot of diversity in the faculty, whether it's from background, ideas, interests, research, or just life experience, and it really makes FES unique.
Faculty are individuals as well. They bring diverse perspectives, and yet they come together to support interdisciplinarity for our students and their own research.
FES has been an amazing place to grow both as an instructor and as a scholar. FES is a global leader in critical urban scholarship, and it's really amazing to work with colleagues who are very influential in my area of work.
FES has given me the opportunity to focus on education and exploration of food systems from a cultural perspective.
As a new Canadian and Latina scholar, I'm proud to be a part of a community that is sensitive to issues of equity, differentiated identities, and that promotes and celebrates the success of students, colleagues, and alumni that are typically marginalized from other areas of society.
FES has created a space for the Toronto Black Farmers Collective work. We focus on community food justice and food security.
A hallmark of the Faculty of Environmental Studies is experiential education. We're committed to the idea of learning by doing and offering students hands-on, field-based opportunities where they can really understand the world and experience it for themselves.
One of the things that really attracted me to this program was the Eco Campus in Costa Rica. I am so fortunate to have been given this opportunity to travel there to study in one of the most biodiverse places in the world, where I can really get a hands-on experience and bring that home with me to Toronto.
At the Faculty of Environmental Studies, we challenge what is, imagine what could be, and we're working towards a sustainable and just future.
That's a part of the work here at FES, exploring all these ideas and bringing them together and making them happen.
The numbers of people I met who are graduates of FES's programs and the sorts of roles that they're playing in the world, from Jennifer Keesmaat, the City of Toronto on down, it really is striking the sorts of impacts that people have had from FES in the world.
Really, that came from a community that was committed to building knowledge and expertise, but also committed to being inclusive and outward facing and thinking about the opportunity that we have as FESers to have an impact on making the world a better place.
As I look forward to the next 50 years, I'm really optimistic that we can provide the education, the research excellence, and the commitment to engagement with community partners, industry, and government to really solve the important environmental issues that are facing us. We need to get committed, we need to work together, and we need to remain inspired. Thank you so much for all those on the team that were responsible for pulling that video together. I'm going to have a very large thank you slide coming up in a little bit. I wanted to, before we get into lunch, offer you all an opportunity to give. And what is an anniversary and birthday party without the opportunity to offer gifts? We, of course, have benefited as a faculty from so many generous donors. Alumni have taken their time, energy, and resources to offer us all kinds of support. And what we're doing as part of our 50th anniversary event is we're highlighting ways in which you can offer us continuing support for all kinds of engagement activities, our teaching activities, as well as our research. I believe a slide's going to be coming up shortly that's going to offer you a web address that you can get on your phone, your mobile phones, or when you're at home later this evening. We're going to be offering a few fundraising opportunities, including the Dean's Fund, which I'm dedicating to experiential education, and specifically continuing to invest in some of our natural spaces. In terms of Maloka Garden, our native plant garden, some of our artistic and cultural spaces, in terms of Zigzag Gallery, our Crossroads Gallery, and other spaces that we have, as well as Las Nubes in Costa Rica. We're also offering opportunities to support student financial aid, the Anita McBride Mentoring Luncheon, the Fisher Fund for Neotropical Conservation, the Pat Platzek Award for Indigenous Urban Studies, the John Page Memorial Fund, the Jerry Carruthers Graduate Scholarship in Environmental Studies, and the George Vary Foundation Entrance Award for Environmental Studies. So please consider offering some of your support. It doesn't have to be resources, it could also be time, energy, and simply support in helping us celebrate this wonderful event. I wanted to thank our saxophonist who's going to be joining us back up on the stage, who is Connor Moe. He is a student in arts, media, performance, and design here at York University. And so he's going to be serenading us through lunch, which I'm now going to call as open. We're going to have people called out to the buffet by table numbers. And we're going to have a bit of a space to chat, eat, and then I'm going to bring you back for a faculty panel. So please enjoy lunch, and we'll see you in a little bit.